So thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim Nakrin. Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I want to just introduce for you, we are preparing to hear from the family of a veteran who was shot and killed by police a little bit earlier this year at a VA hospital. Let me just show you some body cam footage from the incident. So we are expecting the family of this veteran to speak really at any moment now. Again, this is pretty disturbing footage that you were looking at from the incident that happened in January. Well, the officer who shot and killed the veteran at the Atlanta VA Medical Center in January will not face charges. That is according to the DeKalb County District Attorney's Office. The family expected to respond to that decision today, and they're outside the courthouse for DeKalb County. Let's go ahead and listen as they comment on this decision.
The only thing that they heard was that one of your station reported Mr. Smith had a knife, a machete, and he was waving it. He lunged towards somebody. That did not take place at all. That's the only thing was put out to the community and everything. Made Mr. Smith look like a monster. It seemed like a monster. That didn't take place. We want to say that right up front. That did not take place. So after having said that, once we've got the medical examiner report, then the GBI, we hadn't seen their total report yet. We just met with the DA. And we got the body cams of the police officers there that took place that night. And a couple of things that we want to address is what exactly happened that night, dealing with the staff at the VA hospital. Because they said he lunged at someone. He didn't lunge at anyone. The man who said he lunged at him was the man who shot him. When Mr. Smith went in the room, he didn't know that guy was behind him that went in that room. He didn't know that. So we want to just point those out up front, because the only thing you've been hearing what the hospital has said or the VA people said there. This is Miss Vonnie Smith. This is his mother right here. She's been through a lot. She was overcome the other day when we met with the DA about this incident right here. And we just want to set the record straight. We're not finished with it. We want to go forward. And we want the community to know this was not done right by the DA office. That's how we feel. And we want somebody else to take a look at it and see exactly what they think.
What are your next steps? Where will you go from here?
Well, we have got an attorney that's going to get involved. They've been waiting to see how long it's going to take the DA office. We was told it would take longer than this here to get the body cam, but we got a copy of it. So we was told 4 to 6 weeks. But like I said, we got a copy of it. We didn't get the whole body cam. We just got from when it took place, when he met him in the hallway with the knife.
Did you have any feelings going into the meeting with the DA as to whether or not you believed she was going to move forward with charges? Just your reaction?
Yeah, I just felt she wasn't going to move forward with charge. She took the easy way out. The law says if you got a knife or a gun, you know, I guess they're liable to, you can shoot, justify the shooting, you know, and but I didn't think she was going to go anywhere with it, personally. I didn't. That's a good question you asked me, but I didn't think she was going to go forward.
The video, it clearly shows that employees standing behind Mr. Smith for a long period of time.
Yes.
Some people would say he was more in danger from the officer who had his gun.
That's right. That's right.
For some reason, they didn't clear him out of the way.
Well, he was the one who said also he was in fear for his life. How can you be in fear for your life and you're standing there? You have a door right there. All you have to do is go out the back door. The officer told him to move. He said, "Hey, Ephraim." He said, "Ephraim, move out the way." Because I guess you're in the line of fire, he thought it was. He said, "Go in the room." He told him, "Go in the room." He come out 3 or 4 times. Then he came back up almost close to Mr. Smith. And I asked that question to the prosecutor. The DA guy. I said, what was his intent? Because surely he didn't have to be there. He didn't look afraid to me. He didn't have to be there. Now, when Mr. Smith went in that room, he did not know that guy went in that room. The police told Mr. Smith to go in that room. And then one of them said, see, that's the other problem. Too many people are talking to de-escalate things, you know. One of the police officers said, let me talk to you in this room back here. He said that. You know, I got it on tape. We listened to it this morning. He said that to him. But too many people was talking to de-escalation. And how you going to de-escalate something and you got the gun pointed at the man? Directly at him. You know? Mr. Smith was in a state of wanting to leave here. There's no way to put it. He said, shoot me, shoot me. You know, I'm tired. But he didn't deserve to die like that. And then when you went in the room, the first 4 shots were probably in the back. You know? Because he went behind. Even in the room, Mr. Smith had the knife to his neck. At all times, he kept the knife up to his neck. He did that. So we don't know what the threat was.
When you guys met with the DA's office, did they walk you through what was seen on the tape, or they just tell you their decision?
Well, they just gave us their opinion. You know, they walked us through the tape, but we asked them questions. They didn't answer all the questions, I'll be honest with you. She asked them a question about the guy standing back there. It sounded like the guy was giving instructions. The one we talking about standing in the back. Well, is he certified to do that? It was just a lot of chaos there. It really was.
How do you respond to those who look at this video and they heard the officers repeatedly give him orders, commands to drop the weapon and saying, you know, he simply ignored it? I know that there is some mental issues that come into play there.
Well, I understand that, but there was no threat. Anybody had a threat is Mr. Smith. He had it up to his own neck. They could have waited him out. You know? Yeah, they did tell him that. But here's what's interesting. I don't know if y'all found out now. This is not the first time this happened. Supposedly the year before he had a box cutter or something. He came to the VA. Okay? So these guys knew him. They knew him. So when we look at this here, when you look at this video and you see things that happen, there's a lot of problems here. Training is one. You know, how to de-escalate, who to de-escalate, what to do. And the young guy standing in the back, it blows your mind. What is he doing there? We don't know. But I understand what you're saying about when people look at it, they're going to say, well, he told him to drop the knife. But it's a lot of things go into play.
Ma'am, can we ask you to step to the podium and just your reaction to all of this?
Say your name first, please. What's the spelling?
My name is Honey Smith.
We're going to lower that for you, ma'am.
My name is Honey Smith. Smith.
O-N-N-I-E.
S-M-I-T-H.
O-N-N-I-E? Yes.
O-N-N-I-E-S-M-I-T-H.
And ma'am, just your reaction to the events of this week and the decision by the DA.
When I came here on the 15th, I had no doubt in my mind that she was not going to prosecute. Although I voted for her, I helped put her in office. But in my mind, I knew that she was not going to prosecute the case.
Why?
Because of the input that I had gotten back from her office by calling her, the guys that was investigating, the impact that I got back from them, I felt in my heart that she was not going to do it.
And when,
You know.
and when she gave you the decision, what went through your heart?
At that point, I knew it all along, seemingly, but I had to hear it in my ears. Does that make sense to you? But in all things, I would not let nobody or nothing steal my joy. My joy is my joy.
And you're not giving up. You all are going to
I am not giving up. I refuse to give up. That's was my oldest son. He went in service as a jolly guy, sweet, kind, considerate. When he came from service, he had a problem. And it de-escalated year after year. So when you know that a person have mental illness and you try to get help for them, you can't do it. They got to do it by themselves. It doesn't matter. All the talking, all the praying for him, he still has to do it for himself.
How painful was it to see that video?
It was very painful. But I sort of acknowledged in my mind what it might be. You know, sometimes you just sort of play things in your mind when you know something has happened. I did that before I even got here.
Can we make it clear that you believe this was the wrong decision by the DA?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it was the wrong decision because what give a person the right to just literally take someone's life without even knowing them? And then the DA's assistant tried to explain to me when I asked her a question. He said, well, if your child was in the yard playing and someone walked up in the yard, wouldn't you shoot that person? No, I would find out what's going on.
Ms. Dukes, that's what really hurt us when he actually said a question. When he said a question like that, in the seriousness of the situation that we're in, he tried to get an example. If your child in the yard, you know, how dare you say something like that to this parent? Okay? Then Miss Boston said to her, I understand how you feel. No, you don't know how she feels. And I told her that. Unless you lost a child, you don't know how she feels. Now, I understand what you mean by it, but you don't know. Sometimes we say things we never should say. And that was one of the times that both of them said something that you never should say. He never answered the question.
Ms. Smith, where do you go from here?
I go forward. I go forward. I'm not going back. I'm not looking back. My family and I, we're going forward. We're going to do what we have to do to get justice for John. That was my oldest child. I feel like he'd do justice, as well as all of you do justice if something happened. I feel like he'd do justice.
I get the impression you don't want this to happen to anyone else.
I don't. Never. I saw an incident that happened to a nurse at the VA the other day. My heart went out to her. I don't want this to ever happen to anyone. I understand they put up metal detectors out there. Metal detectors should have been out there 50 years ago. Come on. Just when he went to the VA, if he had a knife in his back, why wasn't that knife detected? Does nobody do any search or anything? Why? Tell me why.
Not only that, he had came the year before with this. In their computer, they should have had in there, when he came in there, warning, warning, warning. Something is, this one of the people that we got to watch. They had none of that. And the police officers, they recognize, they know him. They called him by name. When the guy tried to de-escalate, he called him by name. Mr. Smith, he said, I know you. Because this had happened before.
Ms. Smith, how do you think they should have handled this?
First of all, number one, when a person that's an officer at any VA or whatever call you at 1:15 approximately in the morning and didn't know whether anyone was there with me, to tell me that you need to come to the VA because your son has been killed here. Now this is approximately 1:15. Luckily, my son David was there with me at that time. Because if he had not, my pressure probably would have went sky high. No telling what might have happened. I don't know. But I do know there should be some type of protocol in place when things happen. The VA should be educating their workers how to treat the vets. They need to know how to treat them. They served this country. They went off and fought for this country. So all of us could be here today. If not, probably we wouldn't even be here.
Amen.
So now that we're in this position, it's going to go to somebody else's door. Sooner or later, it's going to hit somebody else's door. My heart goes out. My heart goes out. Because, like I say, it's going to hit somebody else's door. It might not be at the VA, but it's going to hit someone else's door. So we, as a family, we're going to continue to do what we need to do to get some justice for John.
Any other questions? We want to thank you for coming out today.
Thank you very much.
And I thank y'all so much for all that you do. I truly thank you. Because you all get the word out. That's what your job is, to get the word out to the public. I thank you. My family thank you.